Hi, my name is Martha. I'm making this video today because I am trying to put some awareness out there regarding cancer. I just got done with a 1-year event with my cancer. It's actually more than 1 year, but from surgery dates, it's been a year. In May of 2014, I went through a mobile mammogram at work, and soon after that, I've gotten a letter in the mail saying I had some suspicious findings. So I'm going to try to make my long story short. But in the months that followed, I went through many more tests, including another mammogram. I went through I believe, a sonogram. They did some blood work. By the time all the results came through, I was given the diagnosis that I did have cancer. The kind of cancer that I had was calcifications were found in my left breast. Actually, they were found in both breasts, but the calcifications in my left breast were suspicious for cancer because of the size and the shape and the cluster and all that. By the way, this is not something you could detect yourself on a self-breast exam. That is something only can be picked up through machines. So there's something that you need to know, because you can't always find out just by a self-breast exam that you might have something suspicious. So I kind of titled this my story, What I Wish I Had Known, because there's a lot that I've learned over this experience. And like I said, I'd like to spread awareness about it, because there's just so much more. It's not just cancer. It's all the ins and outs of everything. And there are cures for cancer, and I'll go over that too. At least they are supposedly curing cancer. I hadn't gone this route because I didn't know any better about what's really out there. So anyway, I had my biopsy in October of 2014. That's when they had told me the extent of the cancer, which was good results actually, because my cancer was still in the very, very beginning stages. It hadn't spread to my bloodstream. It hadn't metastasized anywhere. In fact, it was just sitting there. And they didn't know when I was going to grow legs and start terrorizing my body. So they had to act fast, but they knew that I did not have any metastatic disease, which is really good. So I went under the knife for the first time in November, and here's another thing I wish I had known. They sent me to a plastic surgeon. He told me, well, first they gave me some options, my 2 options. This is my options. This is America's options. Radiation for 6 weeks, you get to keep your breast, or you get to have a mastectomy of your left breast, and then they would take tissue from your belly and rebuild your breast from your fatty tissue of your belly and put skin over that. Well, the thing they don't tell you is that you're going to cut you from hip to hip, which is much bigger than an incision that you would get for a cesarean. They also don't tell you that, you don't always know this, maybe I did find out later, but I found that I was not going to be able to keep my nipple, because the cancer was in the milk ducts of the breast, and so they couldn't take a chance of me keeping my nipple. I'll get to that later. But so here I am getting this surgery done. When I came to, that's when I realized, when I was able to look at it, how much of a major surgery this was. And I did not know, I just was ignorant about it. So anyway, that's just something to keep in mind. So then I had, the healing had to start. So I stayed home for 2 weeks, I think it was. I went back to work. I was very sore, walked very slow, but I was at a computer job, so I didn't have to do any strenuous work. So I went back to work, and a few weeks I think it was actually a week into work, I realized I couldn't do my job because I was in so much pain. After an ER visit and doctor visit, they told me I had to have surgery again. And the reason I had to have surgery again is because the incision area inside the belly, there was a pocket that had developed, and it had pus in there. And unless they got that out, it was not going to be a very good experience. I wasn't going to get well. So almost 1 month to the day, I had another surgery. That was December 8th, I think. So I had my second surgery. I was trying to heal up from that. About a week or two later, right before Christmas, my stitches had came open. My dog jumped on me, and unfortunately, that caused my stitches not only come open, but it caused a whole series of events. I went back to the doctor. He restitched me. A little while later, some time had passed, not because of the dogs, but my stitches came open again. Well, when my stitches come open, I guess this would be true for anybody unless you're healed, is the actual incision comes open too. So I had this open wound. So I went back, and he said, okay, I'm going to give you some heavy duty stitches this time. So like I said, this is right before Christmas, so I was dealing with this almost every week, I think, after the surgery. So he gave me these heavy duty stitches, and he had given me how they give you a shot to numb you. Well, that shot wore off, and then I had so much pain. Pain was just unbelievable, and I needed relief so bad. By the way, they give you hydrocodone, or they give you Tylenol with codeine or whatever. It didn't do me any good. It might do other people good, but it wouldn't do me any good. I was still in pain. So I had relatives coming in the next day, and I was in such dire straits. I actually went to bed that night, and I prayed. I just prayed. Prayed like I never prayed before. I just said, look, Lord, I can't take the pain. I can't take it. This is if you want to take me now, you could take me now. Otherwise, please just help me get over this pain, because I can't deal with it. So I fell asleep, basically praying. I woke up the next day, and I didn't have any pain. I can't explain it. It's just I know that God listened to my prayer, and I couldn't do everything, but I was able to get through trying to make a meal, some side dishes, whatever I could. I was able to walk around. I was able to socialize with my family. I wasn't going to be one of these people that just stayed in bed while everybody else was, having a good time. They were there to see me, and I wanted to see them. So that was the best time, that very, very memorable because of what it did for me. So here's another thing I wish I had known. When they did my blood work, they told me my vitamin D was very low. I think at the time it was either 28 or 30 or something like that. Well, think of a report card. If your kid brings home a grade of 28 or 30, you're going to want to take them out to the woodshed. Well, it's the same thing with vitamin D. The higher it is, the better off you are. So I needed to have at least, well, I guess it's not completely like a report card, because they want you to have at least a 60. So because my vitamin D was so low, the doctor gave me a prescription. Let me tell you, I was on vitamin D prescriptions 4 times, and these are 12 weeks. So something was not right, because you would think that if I'm taking this much vitamin D, which is, by the way, 50,000 IUs once a week, taking this pill, and my vitamin D levels were still not there. So that was cause for concern. Well, if you look up vitamin D and health for the body, you'll find out that vitamin D is basically your defense mechanism in your body, and it works like a hormone, and basically it keeps you healthier. If you're healthier, your body works better. So now I can get into the part about my incision. Okay, I had stitches several times, as I mentioned earlier. Well, here's the thing. After that third round of stitches, doctor took those out because those also did not hold. And he says, okay, Martha, what you're going to have to do now is you're going to have, you have to put wet gauze on this open area, and you're going to have to do it twice a day, and it's probably going to take at least 6 weeks for this to heal. Now, I didn't believe that at first, but I'm looking down because I wanted to show you a picture of what I was dealing with for this incision. It's not pretty, and I'm not going to show you very long, so if you want to see a really good shot of this, you're going to have to pause it. It's pretty gross. Can you see that? Okay. So I had to deal with this open wound. So my way of dealing with it was, because I don't do well with tape and gauze and all that, I did put the wet gauze, and then I put some dry gauze over that, and then I wrapped my belly with an ace bandage, and I pinned that. And that was how I was able to go about my business, go about my day, go to work, come home, all that good stuff. Like I said, it was not pretty. Here's another shot, by the way. Also, not pretty. I went through this healing phase quite a while. As a matter of fact, this is today we are talking. Oh, today is October 31st. I was having such trouble with this incision. It finally did close. Okay, it took 6 to 8 weeks. It finally closed. As soon as I got it closed, I got an open sore. This open sore, I didn't know why I was getting an open sore. I was getting frustrated because I had just thought that I was getting better. But let's see if I can find a picture of that. Here you go. Here's a picture of that. Let's see if I can get a good shot of that. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, that was, the doctor was trying to help me with the healing of this. So we went through antibiotics, regimen, and all this stuff. Well, it finally would heal up. Then as soon as it healed up, it'd come back. So, because this is becoming such a problem, he says, I think I'm gonna have to do surgery again. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Again, another surgery. Well, as soon as he told me that, there was a part on the incision, a different spot besides an open wound. I could feel something. It felt like little bumps, and I didn't know what that was. And it was a few inches away from the open sore. And I told my husband, I go, why do I have little bumps here? And he was touching it. He goes, it feels like there's someone trying to come through. Well, guess what? It was my stitches. Because here's another thing they don't tell you. They don't tell you that the stitches that I put inside, which you don't even know, I bet you don't even know you get stitches inside. The stitches inside are permanent. The reason you're getting permanent stitches is because when they do a tummy tuck surgery, like I had done, is they don't only do the incision across you, but once they have you open this way, they pick up the belly tissue and they make stitches coming down this way across the muscle wall of your belly. So you've got stitches going down this way, plus you've got the incision that closes everything up going this way. the stitches you have inside going down this way, those are permanent. The reason those are permanent is because it's your tissue you're sewing. Tissue will not permanently heal like skin does unless it has stitches. So stitches have to stay in there. You just have to. So anyway, back to my story. These stitches were starting to protrude on another part of my belly. So now I had 2 spots on my incision. And I brought that to his attention. And he says, okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do surgery on both areas. I'm trying to find a picture of that. This is the closest I could find. There's two openings there, 2 stitch areas, 2 bad areas. Anyway, so September 9th, I had another surgery done. I came through that okay. He did tell me that this surgery was going to be better because the skin had already become like leather, and he said this surgery was going to use the way he was going to do the skin. He was going to cut off the bad leathery skin and keep my softer skin, and so he says I would heal better. Plus, by now I'm aware of the vitamin D, and I'm taking the vitamin D. So I actually started to heal this time, and I healed a lot better, and I think it was due to the vitamin D, and I think it was also due to better surgery. I don't know why I had the better surgery was better this time. I don't know, but it was. So anyway, my surgery scar looked like this time, which was better. And a few weeks later, see, now we're in October 31st, and now my surgery scar looks like this. Now, if you want to see the first day I came out of surgery, well, I think it was a few days after surgery, that was what it used to look like. That's after the surgery number 3. Not very pretty. Anyway, there's another thing I wish I had known. I wish I had known that I was going to have scarring all over the breast. You had the scarring across your belly. I also wish I had known that I was going to need another surgery to have a nipple put on. Now, how they do that is they use your own skin, which is interesting. If you can, look that up on YouTube. And also, what you can look up also is the tummy tuck surgery. They actually have one of those on YouTube. So if you really, really want to know what you're getting yourself in for, look at that. But I'll tell you what, I'll take all this pain and suffering I've been going through any day than to take radiation or chemo. I'm still glad that I made the decision that I made for opting for this surgery. But of course, I've learned some more things even since then. But I'll get to that. Okay, so I was told that the cause for my breast cancer was due to the fact that my hormones, after going through menopause, had kind of gone haywire, and so the hormones were causing my calcifications, causing me to get the breast cancer. So my oncologist recommended that I go on this other drug called tamoxifen for 5 years. And I read online in some cases they want to recommend it for 10 years. You'll have to watch. Don't mind my little birds. We've got little finches. They tend to get noisy. So the regimen of tamoxifen was suggested that I'd take to 5 to 10 years. Well, if you look up the side effects of tamoxifen, it basically puts you through another type of menopause, I guess, because you still get the cold chills, you still get the hot flashes. You could get osteoporosis. You could get your joints sore, like arthritis, and it could cause cancer. So the solution is they want to give me tamoxifen to take away my risk of getting cancer in the other breast, but yet they want to give you something that might still cause you cancer. So I'm sorry, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't care what the doctor says. I don't think that's my best option. So because I don't think this is my best option, and I'm worried about my next 5 years on this earth, I don't know if I'm setting myself up for some more cancer. I surely don't want any more cancer. Not to mention I had had a hysterectomy back in '93 for, guess what? A precancerous condition. I had severe dysplasia. And if you want to look that up, that's interesting stuff. So I was very perplexed by this. What can I do to not get cancer again? So I started looking on the internet. Look for answers. Try to find out the answers I could find out. And I was kind of blown away by all of the different methods, different ways, different things you can do to prevent cancer or to get rid of cancer. Now, I know you're always told there's no cure for cancer. I know Susan G. Komen's looking for a cancer cure. I know the American Cancer Society is looking for a cure. I get that. They want a nice drug that cures all. Okay. Well, I'm also finding out that what we do have on this earth, that God's green earth, He gave us these things we could use that He put on this earth for a reason, to help us. And because it can't be packaged and put in a pill and patented, we Americans suffer the consequences. So I'm going to give you some of the things I have found out so far, and I am still on my exploration. I'm still going to persist all the time looking for the best thing I can do for myself, for my body, to prevent this from coming back. So here's what I have found so far, and believe me, you might want to write these down. My list is getting grown. I used to have 2 or 3 things. Now it's gotten longer. And write these things down, and then YouTube them or research them in your own way. And then, you know what? Find out what you think is best for you. Okay. There's something called the Budwig diet. It's flaxseed oil and cottage cheese. You might want to check into that. There's a certain way you got to mix it, but it's supposed to be a cancer cure. Another thing is hemp seed oil. Also very good. Also it's basically a derivative of marijuana, except it doesn't have I think it's called THC. Doesn't have that, but it's still very, very good for you. Cannabis oil. This does come from marijuana. It's your medical marijuana. Very good stuff. Do your homework and do some research on this. This is something you can get from a doctor, prescription. I don't know if it's in every state, but check with the doctor, see if you can get a prescription for medical marijuana. And then please be careful where you buy it from. You want to make sure it's the real deal. The other protocol is the Gerson therapy. They believe in heavy juicing of organic fruits and vegetables. There's a soup that they use, and they also do enemas. I know that's not pretty, it doesn't sound good, it sounds terrible, but your liver is in trouble, and this will help the liver. The liver is going to send out all these, sends out basically all the signals to your body. So if your liver's working right, your body's going to work better. Just look it up and make your own decision. Mistletoe. If you read up or watch some of Suzanne Summers' videos, she was healed by mistletoe. And that is a plant, of course, just like that's a Christmas plant, but it has healing properties, and I believe it's all done through injection, like an insulin injection. And I don't know what the protocol is on that. Again, something you might want to check into. The other part is the baking soda cure. This is there's a website called pH Kills Cancer. There's a man that had stage 4 prostate cancer, and he was able to heal himself just with a baking soda protocol. So you may want to look into that. Then there's this one I just found out about last week. Moringa, M-O-R-I-N-G-A, the moringa plant. You can grow this plant anywhere. It grows best in warm climates. If you're from a cold climate, I would keep it in a pot, a vase or something inside your house during the winter. But the whole plant is used. You can use the leaves, you can use the stems, you can use anything from this plant. And of course it grows very well. It's very hardy. It started out in third world countries. It was so highly nutritious that people who were starving could live off this plant and not have any problems. It has 90, I think it's 95 or 99 nutrients in it. Very good. Okay, let me just say a little thing about water. Water is very good for you. They always tell you, drink 8 to 10 glasses of water. It hydrates you, cleans out your system, flushes out your system. Problem with water is, at least here in the United States, there is fluoride in our water. Okay, fluoride is only supposed to be used. Well, let me put it this way: if you look at your fluoride toothpaste tube, it tells you not to swallow it. It tells you that you need to call Poison Control Center if you swallow it. So if you are using a fluoride toothpaste, please use it sparingly. Please don't swallow it. But it doesn't really make that much difference anyway, because they have fluoride in our drinking water. So you're taking a shower with the water that comes out of your faucet, and you're drinking this stuff. Look it up. It's bad news. It's not meant to be washed with. It's a corrosive piece of junk, and we should not be brushing our teeth with it, let alone bathing and drinking it. That being said, there are also other components to water that are not good. Some of them are acidic. Check into that. Very interesting stuff. Not only that, there is something called BPA that plastic bottles, all plastic bottles, if they're heated up to a certain temperature, let's say you leave your bottle of water in the hot sun, BPA starts emitting from this plastic bottle. So you're now drinking a highly toxic bottle of water, because now you've got the fluoride and you've got the BPA brewing in there. So, and a lot of our water is just city water. It's just from the creek or something, a river down the street. You know, it's nothing. It's not really as clean as we think it is. So you might want to think about reverse osmosis water if you can afford to do that, or just look on certain ways that you can clean your water better. You can also drink, I think, distilled water, but be careful on that, because some of those might be acidic, some of those might have more fluoride. You really got to do your homework on your water. I'm trying my best to drink better water. I can't afford reverse osmosis. I still got lots of medical bills to pay, and I can't even pay them. So I don't know that I will ever get that machine, but I would love to. By the way, if you'd like to see another good video on hygiene of your teeth, you think, well, why would I want to see that? Well, because there's openings in your mouth, besides the obvious throat opening. There's openings in your teeth, in your gums, dental work, if you've had any dental work done in your mouth. That is the best way for germs to get in through your mouth. So if you watch Bad Bugs, you will find that they did this one gentleman, they took his blood and they also took his saliva, and they checked it under a microscope, and the doctor was able to tell him all the things he was suffering with just from looking at his blood. If you look at the video further, it talks about oral hygiene and how the new dentists, or I should say all dentists, should be doing this technique. So for this reason, I would highly recommend you get a, I can't remember what it's called, like a water pick, where you do your own flushing with water into your mouth. Because you got to remember, anything you're putting into your mouth goes into your bloodstream much quicker. That's why they give you the heart pills. They put it under the tongue, it goes into your bloodstream. Just remember that. So, just giving you a tip, I would suggest you start looking on YouTube for anything of interest to you about that. Okay, so now there's also a, well, I don't know where to start first. I guess I'll start with this one. Last week, the World Health Organization announced that all packaged and highly processed foods are going to give you cancer. They are equating them to the same thing as smoking cigarettes. I'm not making this up. Look up the World Health Organization, and it's right there. So basically, they're saying that our food is killing us. So if you can, try really hard not to go to your frozen section and get all this junk that you can't even pronounce. Anything you cannot pronounce on the label is not good for you. Just remember that. So if you're going to go get some frozen vegetables, make sure it just says vegetables, nothing else. If you're going to go get meat, find out what you're really eating. Read the labels. I'm telling you, this stuff is going to kill us. That's why there's so many people getting cancer. Okay, now if you look further, there's another video of this lady named Shannon, and she healed herself from cancer, and she had cancer twice, and she ended up going to Mexico. She tried several different protocols, and there's a couple that she mentioned that I had never heard of. One was being in a hyperbaric chamber. Very interesting stuff. There's also hypothermia. They freeze your body to a temperature where it won't kill you or anything, but it will cause you to get a fever. And your own fever, the heat, just the heating of your body, will help kill cancer cells, because cancer cells do not like heat, and they don't like oxygen. So that's why you're always told to exercise so much, because you're breathing in and you're getting good circulation and getting good oxygen. So these are the things that I'm learning. Also, just keep in mind, cancer cells really seem to adhere to sugar. They really like it. So if you think you may have cancer or anything like that, you're really better off staying away from sugar if you possibly can, or at least cut way down. And again, there's the baking soda protocol, which actually you could take with sugar, because it's like the Trojan horse. It goes into the body. The cancer cells are looking for sugar, and instead they get some baking soda with that sugar, and they don't like it, because let me tell you something. Most of the diet that us Americans have is very highly acidic. So the cancer cells like an acidic environment. So if you possibly can, that's why they suggest so many fruits and vegetables, because those are not acidic. They're not very high in acidic, and you want to keep more of an alkaline, what's the word? Alkaline levels. You want to have better alkaline levels than you do acidic levels. Anyway, this is also on YouTube. Do this Google search, and you'll find this to be the case. Anyway, like I said, I'm still on this journey. My husband is now pretty ill. He's been pretty ill for a while, and he's just gotten some tests done, and I don't know what his results are going to be. But I'm really hoping that he doesn't have to go through any surgeries or anything like that. And I'm hoping he doesn't have any cancer. But I tell you what, if he does have cancer, I'm better armed, I'm better prepared for it now, because there's places that'll help. There's things that'll help. If I have to go to Mexico to get the treatment that I need, I will do it. if I have to try all these different kinds of seeds and different protocols, I will do it. I can't risk at I'm 56, okay? I'll be 57. I would like to live to be 70s and 80s years old, and without having to be ill. I'd still like to travel. I'd still like to do fun things. I don't want to be somebody who's in a wheelchair or using a walker or a cane, or who's dizzy most of the time or tired all the time. I really like to enjoy my life, and in a few short years I'm going to retire, and I'd really like to spend my senior years enjoying life, not being sick, not being tormented by joint pain, osteoporosis, arthritis, and all these other things. So I probably will make another video later once I find out where I'm at and how things are going, and once I learn more about this journey that I'm on and the things that are out there that can help. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you'd like to leave any comments, please do so. Thank you very much. Take care.